Hello, viewer, listener. This is Ray Harrington, 1/3 of the Funbearable podcast you have been watching or listening to right now. Have you been looking at us on a screen or hearing us in your earbuds or from your car thinking, man, I wish I could see them.
Yeah.
You know, see them up close and personal, get a whiff of their aura. You know what I mean? Maybe, possibly reach out and touch them like after the episode was over.
Wow.
Well, we have great news for you. These are things you could do. We shouldn't say that they can touch us, right?
They can touch me.
I know they can touch you. It's only fair I'm touching them.
Tit for tat, tit for tat.
Oh, wait, what's your tat? No, you can check us out June 1st,
Yes.
right here at the Rhode Island Comedy Connection. We will be doing a live Funbearable podcast. It is the Narragansett Beer presents Funbearable's Dumber Break,
Yes.
which is a play on summer break.
Yes.
And it's fun because we're stupid idiots.
Just get ready for a super fun night of super summary things. Presidential trivia.
No.
Vice presidential trivia.
Okay.
Ooh, I went to do a buzzer and then it turned into Home Improvement.
Lots of home improvement impressions.
Oh my God. We were going to call this the Home Improvement episode, the live show. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be fun. When we do live podcasts, they're more than a podcast.
Oh,
We got
yeah.
some fun improv stuff, some segments. It's going to be a great time. If you
A
want a little
special
preview,
guest may be appearing.
oh yeah.
Or just the top of his face, and there'll be a fence.
If you want to check out our old live episodes, check out our 100th episode that we did last summer.
Yeah.
That's on the feed for free. And our Winter Funderland episode, which we did a while ago. So this is going to be a summer-themed one.
Yeah.
We hope to see you there. Funbearablepod.com for the tickets. And we want to give a shout-out. Thank you to Narragansett Beer for sponsoring. And thank you to RI Food Fights for sponsoring the event. Check out RI Food Fights on Instagram, at RI Food Fights. It's amazing, and they're a great food organization in Rhode Island.
Yeah, and you can also always go to ricomedyconnection.com to get those tickets as well.
That's
I
absolutely
just
right.
want to give them all the options. You could go to the comedy club when it's open and be like, I want to buy tickets.
Yeah, do it.
You could show up at Brad's house in the middle of the night with a gun and say, I want to buy tickets.
And you can touch him as much as you want.
Oh, if you have the gun, you can basically do whatever you want.
Let's end on that note.
Yeah.
Poor Brad.
That ominous note. They're not going to shoot.
As long as you do what they say.
Yeah. Unless you shoot.
All right, so there's Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yes.
There's Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Correct. Oh,
Who's-
and Ruth's Chris.
Oh,
The steakhouse.
is there like
Chris is a monster.
Jim Parsons' Invisible Man? David Duke's Creature of the Black Lagoon?
I don't like that. I don't like that.
I just made up a name.
Oh, I've seen the poster. Why did you reach for David Duke?
I also shouldn't have picked Creature from the Black Lagoon.
There's Ralph Ellison's The
save me,
Invisible
Brett.
Man.
Oh, there's
H.G. Wells' The Time Machine.
H.G. Wells' The Time Machine is
Sure,
one.
sure.
I don't know about the Invisible Man one. I've never heard that, and I've heard of the Invisible Man many a time.
Well, I think that's more about what... I think when you hear Ralph Ellison's Invisible Man, you understand like what it's going to be more about, the allegory that's there.
Yeah.
So it would never be on a movie poster.
It would be but Ralph Ellison's The Invisible Man is not the Universal Monsters Invisible Man.
Correct.
Oh, I
You know,
get it.
For that, you need to go to Chevy Chase's Invisible Man.
Okay, so we got three. We got three H.G. Wells' Time Machine. Time Machine.
I think because the movie adaptations are being advertised as these are closer to the source material than all the other adaptations
Right.
of Dracula or
Frankenstein.
Time Machine things or Frankenstein.
Well, so they are the originators. So I think the H.G. Wells Time Machine part we gotta separate because we're talking about the two
the two horror.
paranormal things, horror things. I think it's from that era, the
Yeah.
Victorian era of the the originator of that creature or thing, right? Even though I'm sure vampires probably the idea of that existed long before that. Did your knees just explode?
That was hurtful.
Oh no! I'm sorry. I brought you to your knees and they popped.
It's okay. They're bleeding.
That's part of my new rap album.
Yes.
I did think of another horror one.
Okay,
Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Sure.
I guess.
I think it's called that.
Yeah, it is. But I think now we're getting more into a territory of like the more modern we get, the more the name of the thing becomes more about branding, right?
Yeah.
So New Nightmare, it's like we're gonna do a new Freddy movie, but the Freddy movie isn't a traditional Freddy movie, so we don't want to call it Nightmare on Elm Street. We need to call it something else.
Right.
Wes Craven is an identifiable name because he created this thing.
Interesting.
So we'll call it Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Does that make sense?
Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I
Like Mary
that.
Shelley went on to do a lot of slash fiction.
Yeah.
But she dropped the name, the ownership of that thing.
Probably
okay.
a wise choice. I've read some of it.
It was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird. Originally, Frankenstein was a start of her slash fiction. I don't know if you knew that. It was originally about the king. And then it turned into a homunculus. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Yeah, that's not all true. That's
No.
a lie
I know
that
it's a
I've
lie.
done.
I figured that. Most of the stuff we say is not true.
Right. Here's my issue. We were talking about this before, and we got to a place where Dracula
Yes.
had you said BS Dracula.
Yes. For
Thank you,
Bram
because that's
Stoker.
where we were
Yeah.
trying to get. Yeah, BS Dracula, and then I had said that that was the name of Dracula's television show from the late '90s that he had. It was a competing show.
Yeah.
To Fact or Fiction with Jonathan Frakes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And his show was Bullshit Dracula, and he would come out and go, "It was bullshit," right? Like that, yeah, that's as real as a stake in the heart, right? Like that kind of stuff. He did a lot of counting too.
Yeah.
He was purple and fuzzy. No, but it reminded me of the Frakes situation. We've talked about this on the podcast.
Yep.
Padcast.
Padcast.
Past podcast is what you're thinking
Taipei.
of. Yeah.
Pad Thai.
Pad Thai. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Now
Why did you make pray hands when you said that?
Because I wish God would give me more.
God, give me more Pad Thai.
Audio only people. Chuck also put his index fingers on the side of his eye and just pulled upwards. People watching on YouTube can affirm that.
Yeah.
He also had some teeth.
Yes.
That were not good.
This is a sun hat.
I'm allergic.
We're in a basement.
No, but I will say, like we've talked about Jonathan Frakes's. Maybe that's another ownership thing. Fact or Fiction.
Yep.
It is such a beautiful objet d'art from that era,
Okay.
in the
Yeah.
late '90s. I really love it. I can sit down if you opened that tablet right now, Charles, and started playing a supercut of all of the fiction.
That's his porn tablet.
Oh, never mind. I don't want to touch it. It's so hot.
Yeah.
I can smell it from here.
It smells like auto blows.
Ooh, that's interesting. It smells like ozone and jizz. No, that's my cologne. That supercut of It's a Lie. We were lying.
Yeah.
It's not true.
Yeah.
Never happened.
I love it.
It's
so
my
much.
favorite thing. I do love it.
I don't know why it's so funny. It is so funny.
I'm going to say it now.
You've
and
seen it, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm mailing this idea to myself, so you can't steal it. No one steal this, listener viewer. We love you, but this is TMTM.
Future Ray can have it though.
Ringtone.
Of that?
I would love that.
Oh, that's funny.
If you called me and then it's like, not true, never happened. We made that up. We're lying to you. I'd be like, oh my God.
I mean, and really, it's the perfect personalized ringtone for Chuck.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, no. Chuck, when he calls, it's the song You're So Vain.
Yes.
And then I add in, instead of song, I go ringtone.
Yes.
Right? No, but I love that so much. And we were talking a little bit earlier about the show.
Yeah.
And Brad, you had mentioned that you remember the show. You watched it when it was airing, but you don't remember a single fact or fiction.
I remember two.
You do?
Just two. One was like him just talking about John Wilkes Booth's brother saving Abraham Lincoln's brother or something like
Okay.
a train station thing that had happened a couple years before. The alleged assassination.
That is true, though.
Yeah.
That is true.
And so The other one
That
was
one's true.
Yes, the other one was what was clearly fiction. Like a young boy is hearing noises in his closet. He says it's a monster. His dad tells him to go back to sleep. They lock the
ET.
door, this and that. And then the kid disappears and is never seen again. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Like, this is the most obvious fiction in history. And they're like, that one's true. And I'm like, I'm never sleeping again.
Yeah, that show was so fun, and like I don't remember any of the fact or fictions except for
that's it.
one.
Yep.
Because it scared me, and it's the same thing where it was like it's so fake, and this one was fake.
Yep.
Frakes came out and he copped to it. He
Yeah.
said, "We're lying to you."
Load of shit.
That one's a made up story.
You idiots.
Yeah.
You
That'd be
don't have a
amazing.
reason to be afraid, Ray.
Yeah.
I do have a connection to Jonathan Frakes
Uh-oh.
that we could get into at another time. The story that was it was like somebody in their home, they were sleeping, and someone walked by their window
Yeah.
multiple times, and
Yeah.
it creeped them out, and then they saw them like standing at the window watching. And when they went to the window, obviously no one was there,
Right.
but they lived on like the third floor.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that is spooky.
Yeah, and they were like, and then Frakes was like, "We lied to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
We made that one up.
They lived on the first floor, and the person was real. He killed them.
Our non-creative writers made that one.
Yes.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Somebody read a urban legend book and then turned it into a script.
Right.
Yeah.
But it has stuck with me forever, the idea. And so to this day, the idea, like when I was growing, not to this day, but when I was growing up, if I was staying at somebody's house or it was a new place that could be kind of scary as a kid,
Yeah.
if it was on the second floor, I'm still like, no, something's coming through that window.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe it's Frakes.
Yep.
I hear you.
Ooh, what if Jonathan Frakes is a vampire?
Is the show always at night?
The show is always usually at night. There's candles lit. I know
Yeah.
that from the
Yeah,
set.
Oh,
in my
vampires
mind,
like candles.
yeah.
They love candles.
Can't get enough. Yeah.
Oh, they covet a candle.
It's like right under blood.
Yeah.
yeah, it goes blood,
Coffins.
coffins, luring women,
Bat food.
bat food. No, it's blood.
Oh, yeah, right. That's
They
my
don't
bad.
need bat food. People buy them bat food that don't understand their culture, right? And then they always are like, "Oh, thank you very much," and then it just sits there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? What am I going to do with this?
Yeah,
I'm
right.
so sorry about. I didn't mean to do vampire voice. I'm very sorry about that. Apologies.
Yeah. Bleep it.
Oh no, I'm gonna get canceled. Look at this insensitive bastard. The people of Transylvania will never have me.
Blur his head, too. We don't want to do digital vampire
Yeah, please,
face.
thank you. Blur both heads, Craig.
Yeah, please.
My little vampire.
Right. Bat food?
He'll bite. He will bite. He hangs upside down. It's painful. So many things happening. My tenuous connection with Jonathan Frakes, very quickly. My elementary school art teacher.
Okay.
Yeah.
She house sat for Jonathan Frakes
Nice.
regularly.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my closest connection. And when I was a little
That's
kid,
cool.
I loved Star Trek The Next Generation.
Yep.
So I was just like, wow, Will Riker, you know Riker, that's so cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That kind
that's
of thing.
cool. I like that.
I remember his house rules were like no garlic.
Right.
Yep.
Don't touch the box in the basement.
Yeah.
Leave some blood in a dish for reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No bat food in the house.
I was gonna say, don't touch my box labeled bat food.
Yeah.
Don't touch my Star Trek paraphernalia.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yep.
You know a fun story about Jonathan Frakes?
Or my Star Trek genitalia.
Ooh.
Wow.
Right. It beeps.
Yeah. That's the original captain's log. I need to leave. The point I was going to say.
Something about going where no man has gone before.
I was gonna say we're no man.
No,
Yeah, I like it.
They've gone there before.
Yeah.
They have really gone there. Here's a fun fact about him. He had a back issue, like during most of Star Trek: The Next Generation. So the meme of Riker throwing a leg over a chair to sit down, like he would
Yeah.
do that all the time, and he loved sitting backwards in a chair. It
Yeah.
was because of his back.
Yeah.
And I love that because it's like he was just another suffering from back problems
Yeah.
boy like us, but he just exuded this like sexual ism
I love it.
out into the world, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I like
Riker's
that.
walking through Star Trek, which is the ethical sci-fi show,
Right.
Yes.
basically being like swinging his dick. Good for him.
Yep.
That's a role model for all of us.
I love
think.
him.
Yeah. Oh, that's why Chuck exudes a sexualism.
Yeah.
Tism.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Funbearable. I'm Brad Rohr.
I'm Ray. Let's change that tism to a sism, Harrington.
And I'm Chuck, the Kobayashi Maru state.
Hey!
Wow, very
from Star
good.
Trek. That's all I
That's
know.
the second Kobayashi Maru
Really?
reference in the past few recordings that we've done.
Oh, interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
I do love that phrase,
Yeah.
Sure.
regardless of what it means.
I think it's a good safe word.
Remember, I recently told you that one of my favorite words is goblin?
Yes.
This is up there as a good phrase.
That's pretty fair.
Yeah.
It's a good safe word,
Yeah, I think so.
you know?
It's a long safe word.
It is.
But it's easy. Once you
Kobayashi
start. Kobayashi Maru, right?
You just stop him.
Yeah.
It's just so you have time to stop Brad from
You
finishing
stop and you
the
go,
phrase.
did you say maroon
Yes.
or maru?
I said maroon. Keep going. I
Turn
need
the vacuum back on. Ooh, I just pictured you as one of those people that likes to get in like vinyl and get like vacuum sealed.
That's
You know what I'm
good.
talking about?
Adam Levine in a Star Trek outfit, Kobayashi Maroon 5.
I gotta go.
should have saved it.
For the bowling league?
Thank you, Ray.
Should have saved it for Halloween.
Audio listeners.
Yeah. Oh, that could have been one of our
Audio
trick-or-treaters.
listeners think that's Ray applauding.
They know I have a deeper applaud.
Number one, not a vinyl guy.
Okay.
No, do not suffocate me.
All right.
At all.
I mean, we were kind of past the bit. The idea that you would revisit it so quickly to
Yeah, I just want to
refute
be
it
clear.
By the
makes
way,
me wonder.
You're saying right now you're not a vinyl guy, but you don't know about the show plug that Ray and I did yesterday.
What?
Yeah.
That's and by the
Oh,
way,
yeah.
not even a joke. Pulp Fiction.
Yep, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a different kind of vinyl though. But I am like absolutely confounded. I am truly perplexed by
Yes.
the kink of people getting vacuum sealed.
Yeah.
What is that?
I think
Who
it's like
wants that?
I think it's the same thing as like a smothering thing, right?
I guess.
think
But they're
so.
straight up getting vacuum
Oh, they do
sealed.
get like suffocated a little bit.
Yeah, like
I
someone
know.
can die.
Yeah, someone
it's
can die.
very weird.
Well, people have like water play. I don't know. People are weird.
I don't know. Can you get my instinct when I see someone get all sucked up like that is to be like flash freeze them.
You know,
Because that's what
Yeah.
things that, like it's like
how
it's
it's said.
salmon.
so you know that piece of shit Andrew Tate. You know
Yes.
who that is.
Yeah.
You know how he was like.
And that's how we always refer to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how he was like
His
on
legal
Twitter, like beating his 16-year-old girlfriend during sex. Did you see that?
I didn't see it happen.
Yeah, yeah.
But
There's
I've
a video.
heard-
of
I've heard about it.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
She came out and said that she saw other girls having sex with people in his like group,
Mm-hmm.
and they were choking them during sex, and some girls died from it.
Ay,
So
ay, ay.
the suffocation thing
Yeah.
is like a part of things. But isn't
Yeah.
that bizarre?
I would say it goes past bizarre because I don't think it's a novelty. I think
Well, I
that's
think
what
that there
you've
was-
described as a murder.
Well, I think that before the
That's
murder,
an SVU.
You know what?
Straight
Hold
up.
on.
To a T, an SVU.
erased right where it starts to be murder. So there's some choking element there with the airwaves, the air tunnels.
The rare ways.
Pad Thai.
What's it called? It's not airways. Is it? Oh no, it is airway.
Yes.
It's not airwave.
This is the worst thing you could hear if you were in an ambulance,
Yeah.
right? And you heard a paramedic go, What is it called? What's the the hole with the air? What is that?
Air hole. No,
Right.
that's
No,
not
airwaves,
air
it's a
hole. I know it's
radio.
okay.
You're starting to fade, and you hear the paramedic go, You hear about Andrew Tate choking girls to death? What? Yeah.
Yep.
I think you follow it because you're worried.
I think
Because you're like, there is a line, but oh my God, I get so close.
I hate that guy so much.
Yeah.
And I'm
Because
so
he gives guys like you a bad name.
no, because it's funny, we used that joke exactly in a video one time. Remember Tom and Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So anyway,
And that was Tom DeLonge.
yes, that's right. No, it's just like I've always been so mystified that anyone is what?
I'm so sorry. Tom DeLonge, didn't he write All the Small Things? And it was referring to all the children in Michael Jackson's basement.
Yeah, right. No, it's just like I'm so fascinated that anyone like likes him or has any sort of approval for him.
Andrew Tate, yeah.
And the way he is. So like whenever a shitty thing comes up about him, I'm happy to like repost it and be like, what the hell's going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
he's for me personally, like there's different people in culture right now that it's like, why does anyone like this guy? like JD
Yeah.
Vance, RFK, all these different people, and I'm like, I think Andrew Tate is the worst guy that's like at this level of support. I think
Sure,
he's like
sure.
maybe the worst.
I think, well, yeah, he's a huge piece of shit. I think it speaks to a larger issue.
Yeah, I know.
If we're going to talk about...
We don't have to get into
what
it,
we
but-
talk about when we talk about Andrew Tate.
Well, it's just like,
Yeah,
you know,
it's-
like the monsters of the world
Yeah.
have like basically no support.
Have you seen that tour?
Yeah, so good.
Oh my God. No,
Rolling Stones.
I think it's an issue of there's the loneliness epidemic.
Yes.
The rise of social media and the preying upon of young men.
Like
that
young
get,
insoles.
Yeah, get put into a pipeline to get to this place where it's essentially just... I hate women, and how can I dress that up to be... no, it's not about that. It's about empowering men.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. But all of your things about empowering men are hating women.
Yeah, I just
You know?
I find his rhetoric to be the most clearly offensive.
Yeah, it's gross.
You know what I mean?
It's absolutely gross. Ooh, speaking of rhetoric, there's also another huge piece of news going on that can also deal with toxic masculinity.
Okay.
I just want to say to our viewer listeners that are Catholic, congratulations on the new
Catholic
Pope draft.
The
that happened.
Chicago Pope.
Yes.
There was a draft for a new Pope, and a young upstart, not young, upstart from
Young-ish.
Chicago.
Young for popes.
Was Young for Popes, great band, was drafted as Pope.
Yep.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
People are wondering, is he woke? Is he a woke Pope?
Why is he woke? Is he from Chicago woke? Is that a thing?
No, because he's just like less
Be-
gays are bad.
because he teaches what Jesus taught.
Yeah.
And the right is
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
whoa.
yeah. No, but that's because anything
Yeah.
ever taught about, like sharing is caring, you're like, oh, okay, you woke mind virus.
Yeah.
I agree.
There was
crazy.
a former football, speaking of drafts, former football player who in like 2005 or 2006 was like, Mr. Rogers teaches kids that they're special, and that's not true. And I'm like, oh, some people are just wrong.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like you're wrong and you're bad.
Yeah.
And because you're famous, you have a platform, but that doesn't mean that you're right.
Right. Well, it reminds me of the person that'll be like, my kid, started getting an allowance, and so I told him I would give him $10 a week, and then on Saturday when I gave him the allowance, it was actually $5, and
Yep.
he was like, "Why?" And I said, "Because taxes.
Yep.
Here's what I took this for this and that for that." And my son was like, "That's stupid. Taxes are dumb." So
Yep.
basically, I'm right about this tax thing. I'm like,
yeah.
well, no, that's a child.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're talking about allowance.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your child shouldn't pay for water.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's your child.
Yeah.
He's not a legal adult.
Yeah.
You pay for the water.
Yeah.
To provide to your
Yeah.
child.
Your child
Doesn't
is a dependent.
Right,
Because
exactly.
they depend. Yeah.
Yeah, it drives me crazy. But to answer the question of
Yeah.
is the Pope woke? Is the woke poke?
Yeah.
A lot of spoonerisms today.
Yeah, there are. And I guess to answer the question, we have to ask another question, right? What is woke?
Right.
Right.
Is woke having a history of hiding child rape within the church?
Right.
Then he's woke AF, y'all. He does have a history of
Yeah.
Is it true?
There
Oh,
were
yeah.
there were accusations.
Really?
Yep.
Yep, and he shuffled people around and did a lot of that stuff. It's very strange, the history of the modern popes. None of them are like hardliner coming out saying child rape is bad and we won't have it happen anymore. Isn't that weird?
I don't know about the last pope. I thought the last pope was the woke pope.
Yes.
I thought this was the pope that we didn't
These
know
popes
who was
keep
woke.
getting woker and woker.
I don't know if he's woke.
I mean, I think he's like, hey, JD Vance came out and he's like, yeah, love your neighbor means your immediate neighbor, of course. And this current pope, Pope Leo the 14th, was like, it's not what it means. It's everyone. Love everyone.
Yeah, and then
that
they were
JD
like,
Vance
he's
is
woke.
wrong. Yeah, and
Oh, really?
because he
Okay.
was like JD Vance is wrong, the left is like, woo, woke pope, and the right, of course, is like, oh, boo, woke pope. But
Yeah.
as someone who follows a lot of Chicago-based sports subreddits, it has been insufferable
Oh,
to see the memes.
all I've seen
Oh,
so far.
so many memes.
All I've seen so
Oh,
far.
woke pope meme.
It's like right when he was
Chicago Pope memes.
voted in. Was he voted in?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Is it a conclave?
Yeah. There's literally a movie that just came out
I
called
know, yeah.
Conclave about this.
All I saw was positive posts, but I also
Yeah.
saw almost nothing about
Right.
it. I saw probably
yeah.
like 12 positive posts.
Well, you know, the idea of talking about the issue in the Catholic Church,
Right.
throughout history, the massive, huge thing. It drives me crazy where I'm like, I just want to be like, hey, all of the like QAnon-y folk that are like have huge conspiracy theories about how these people are like doing all of these crazy machinations to fuck with kids.
Yep. The
and I'm-
Wayfair stuff.
Yeah, stuff like that.
The Tom Hanks stuff, you mean?
Yes.
And like here's little symbols that they do to say like this, like the pizza place and all the things like that. It's like, guys, we have a historical cabal.
Yeah.
That is literally a walled city with a man at the top of the food chain that has a history of like taking artifacts. Like Indiana Jones has to deal with these people.
Yeah, that's funny.
You have them right there, and you look past this whole organization to go, what's going on at that pizza place? It's crazy to me.
That
it really
is funny.
is.
Yeah, that is funny.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, we've pissed off quite a few people. So why don't we roll right into the sweet, sweet content that Funbearable sometimes provides?
Sorry, QAnon, we support you.
No, we
No,
don't.
take that one
Is that
out.
what you meant?
No.
No. By the way, I said QAnani, and I'm like, that does sound like a peoples.
Yeah.
Oh, the QAnani peoples. In 1965, they were taken. They were taken.
Their structures are so
Their
beautiful.
shtetls were destroyed.
Oh my god. They still have some in
Yeah,
Paris.
the beautiful QAnon architecture.
So many.
The rich culture of the QAnani. Wow. There's a museum in Massachusetts that's it basically has a lot of their weapons.
Which a lot of people are saying was insensitive because it is built on QAnani land.
Yeah. The pet cemetery though, I think is fine. I haven't gone there.
Yes.
I've heard good things, but I've heard like, I mean, don't look online.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The only people that leave a review are mad. Review?
Every review is like, there was a Mack truck.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
son ran in the street. His shoe was bouncing. I don't want to read about
What
that.
I don't like is they don't give enough information in the negative review. They don't-
I see a lot of immediate positive reviews, and then they're
get deleted.
revised
They're like,
later.
yeah,
Yeah.
edited.
They're
Yeah.
like, this thing rules, and then it says edit 24 hours later, and it's
Yeah.
like, my sheep are dead.
Yes.
Like, the
Well,
neighbor is gone.
What bothers me is, like I said, there's not enough information. They just say like a quick sentence of why it's bad, but I'm like, I don't understand. What does that have to do with the pet cemetery?
Yeah.
Like one guy was like, my dead son is evil now, and I'm like, I don't know. What does that have to do with the pet cemetery?
Yeah. Get
Did
to
your
the
son
point.
go to the pet cemetery?
Yeah.
Who knows?
How is this connected?
Yeah, I hear
Review
you.
from Fred G. Sometimes dead is better. Like,
What does that mean?
This guy gets it.
Is that merch for the pet cemetery?
Yeah. That's really funny. So, I have a special thing.
Congrats. Yeah. Oh no, he's Chuck Schumer. He's dropped his glasses.
So, recently we talked about Uncle O'Grimacy.
yes, of course.
Yes. Recently we rediscovered Uncle O'Grimacy.
And I have some follow-up news, a couple things.
Okay.
But the first thing is that a very special listener of ours, it really inspired him. And he asked
Was
me
it Andrew Tate?
to go film something with him. That had
Okay.
to do with it.
Okay.
Okay, so it's somebody that has access to Chuck.
Yeah.
Or Chuck has access to them. So I'm already suspicious.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
It probably is Andrew Tate.
Yeah, the people that are within that circle,
Bosom buddies, yeah.
It's tricky. It's tricky.
So
So you filmed something.
So I filmed something, and I
Yeah.
cut it to very short because we have audio listeners. I don't want them to feel left out. They
Oh
can
my
go check
god!
out
If
the
you
video.
if you do something audio only, there's like 3 people that will fucking hate you.
So this is video,
Okay.
and
they're writing in now.
I kept it very short.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to make a longer cut of this that we'll just throw up on the YouTube for fun.
Right.
Sure.
But for the purposes of being within a podcast, I wanted to make it really palatable. And,
Yeah.
and it's bite size.
So, is it a clip from another podcast?
This is
then it
no.
would be palatable.
No, I shot this.
Oh,
All right.
It's 3 minutes long.
All right.
And for the audio listeners, we are going to play the audio as we watch it. And if you guys want to comment, you can. But
okay.
so this is it's on a tablet, and
Why is
Craig
it titled "Choke, Choke, Choke"?
and Craig, you can cut around us setting this up. But here, you can put this wherever you like. I would say put it at the edge of the table so you can both see it.
Why don't we do that, and then I'll lay the microphone in front of... Where's the speaker going to be?
I think it's at the bottom.
Okay, so like this?
No, at the bottom of the tablet. Like,
So, like, over
sorry,
there, yeah.
sorry. That'll be fine.
Yeah.
So just
I
tap.
just don't want to have it be bumping or thumping.
Yeah. Brett, tap the tablet.
Oh, I got ozone and jizz all over my fingers.
Oh,
Now press play.
Yeah, when everyone's all like, hunched up.
So, Jimmy, what's going on today? You're going to tell
Oh,
us.
no.
I don't know exactly how I'm going to work this in, but I want you to tell us what's going on today.
Okay, so a few months ago
Don't
on
do
the
it.
Funbearable podcast, one of my favorite podcasts,
Like that.
there was some discussion about Uncle O'Grimacine.
Yep.
And if I'm not mistaken, the conversation turned to, does anybody in the world have an Uncle O'Grimacine tattoo? And I
you
believe
pause
it
this
was
1 second?
said,
No.
probably not.
So this is Jimmy the Hair Guy.
yeah.
He's been on our podcast before. He was on, I think, We Pitch You a Merry Christmas Part 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've podcasted with him a lot through Tell Him Steve Dave and Reviewing History, and he's a great guy. He's a real he listens to every episode, and he'll literally send me jokes from the episode and be like, remember this? And
Yeah,
I often
yeah.
don't. But he's a great guy. He's a true supporter of all this stuff.
Yeah.
He's a big part of Tell Him Steve Dave, and he asked me to go film. He said, if you want to press play, you'll see what the rest
I
of this.
don't. You know what? I feel like we took a fun, innocent thing, and now there's a victim.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I didn't suggest this.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I
But
did-
this man,
A victim of himself?
is the loosest tattoo person in the world.
Yes.
He really
he's
is.
he's a tattoo slut.
He really
He's
is.
a tattoo slut.
He has a show on the Tell Him Steve Dave Patreon called
Put it on me.
It's like Jimmy the Hair Guy's Tattoo Shop or something.
Yeah.
Mystery Inc. Jimmy the Hair Guy's Mystery Inc.
Yeah.
And he has to, one of the games, I actually really like this game, even though I'd feel guilty about participating. There'll be 3 people who draw an image. One person who's a professional, like Walt Flanagan, is a great professional. He's worked for DC and he's made a lot of his own independent comics. He's amazing. Then they'll have someone who's not a great artist draw the same image.
Mm-hmm.
Then they'll have someone who, like Brad, who's a terrible artist, draw the image as well. And then Jimmy has to play like rounds of games.
Yeah.
And if he wins, he gets to pick which one he gets tattooed on his body, obviously the better one. And if he loses, then someone else has to pick which tattoo that he gets.
It's interesting for sure.
Isn't it fun? It's a fun
is-
concept.
It does have a baked-in finite amount of episodes you can do.
Yes.
Because of the skin?
Yes.
The
Because
skin
of the
factor?
skin. It's because of the skin. Yeah, it's the surface area of said skin.
What's really
he's got to gain a lot of weight.
What's really fun, and I don't direct this show, so it's not up to me. What's really fun is the idea of if you had the 3 images up the whole time in the background so that people could consistently
Yeah,
see the
yeah.
stakes.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be
Yeah.
fun?
You should talk to that director. It's the same guy that did Bum Fights, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I feel now like we have taken this like innocent thing, and now it's been used for ill intent.
Well, press
Not
play.
by him. He's a well-meaning man.
But not by me either.
No, I know.
It's weird.
But somebody did something wrong.
Yes. The system failed Jimmy.
Yes, there it is. There
All
it
right,
is.
press play. It's probably his
right.
parents.
Well, as the number 3 Fun Bear,
Yeah.
I like that he's like,
I know
I'll give it
Sabrina's
to
number
Sabrina and
1.
Lee.
Who's number 2? Lee Leshin.
You
So
almost said Lee
I'll claim
Iacocca.
number 3.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that this for sure cements you.
Yeah,
at
I
number
think this
3.
solidifies my standing. Yeah,
Yep, I think so too.
Today I will be getting an Uncle O'Grimacine tattoo in the name of Funbearable.
Fuck yeah, I love that. So where are we right now?
We are at Concrete Tattoos, home of the great Joey Santiago,
Poor Joey has to draw
TSD
this.
Town's resident tattoo artist.
Yeah, that's right.
And now I guess he's coming into the Funbearable fold.
Hell yeah. All right, so Jimmy is putting his money where his mouth is.
He doesn't have any money.
You filling my mouth.
Are you excited?
Yeah. I just
He
saw the stencil.
needs-
It's fucking glorious.
He
How
needs to
close
get
is this
free
fucking thing to my face?
Shamrock
It's
shakes
not
for
close.
life.
It's not close.
All I can see
How
is my
close is
teeth.
this? I said not close.
Close
I'm
at all.
at the dentist.
It's really not close at all.
Good lord. Jesus Christ.
I can see his pores.
Oh, baby.
On the wrist,
You know here.
so he can
We're
see it
gonna
every
see
time
possibly.
he
That's it.
dots.
That's
All
the
right,
same
you're
joke
done?
that girl made.
Done.
That's Lindsay,
Let's
by the way,
see.
the woman who donated a kitty to
We're
my
gonna have the
mom.
big reveal. Coming over here.
Seen here with
He's so
two kidneys
fucking
inside
poor.
her.
Yes.
No, it's so big and green.
So much.
That is amazing.
I love it so much.
Wow, that is
That looks
incredible.
Really great.
I get the coolest tattoo.
Are you ring-handed?
That looks great, man.
Definitely gonna jerk off.
Uncle O'Grimacy.
That was Lindsay's joke. Yeah.
Wow, Jimmy. How happy are you?
I am ecstatic.
Do you think this will raise you to the rank of number 3 Fun Bear?
I think I earned it.
He's not taking anyone's place.
No, but Sabrina's number 1, Lee Leshen's number 1.5.
Magnanimous.
I'm number 3.
Jimmy, I'm proud of you.
Me too, buddy.
See, Jimmy is
See, you're supporting it, Chuck.
as much as he's like a little bug-eyed scumbag, right?
Right?
He puts his money where his mouth is, and he gets shit done. That's the hair guy guarantee. Say it.
That's the hair guy guarantee.
This feels manipulative.
Not by me.
I love it, buddy.
All right.
Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show.
Oh, we watch Heavy Spoilers too. I like that.
In this video,
Shout out to Heavy Spoilers. Yeah, so shout out to Jimmy the hair guy.
Yeah, I guess. I don't want to I don't want to support the behavior though.
Well,
I think when you have somebody who's clear, this is like when somebody was like, let's film Bam Margera in 2019. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like there's something going on here. We got to get to the bottom of this.
I agree. But again, I kind of just he was like, "Will you come film this?" And
Yeah.
I said, "Sure," and that was it.
No, it's very funny. I'm
Yeah.
I'm leaning into the bit of it.
Of course.
right?
And also-
I'm clearly not being like,
Yeah, of course.
He's broken brained and Chuck, you're manipulating this poor innocent man, this
it's
well-meaning
at least
boy.
half true, by the way.
I'm worried that your relationship ends when you take him out into a field, tell him to think about Uncle O'Grimacy, and then blow his brains out.
Did you see what he did to my rabbit? But yeah, so hopefully on the Funbearable YouTube, I can put up like a longer cut.
Sure, yeah.
Because we did film a little bit more, and there's some funny stuff. I just think
Yeah.
that amount of time
Oh,
was
it's like a
appropriate for the
snuff
podcast.
film of dignity.
Yes. So Uncle O'Grimacy, we talked about this mascot.
Yes.
Okay.
Sure. But real quick, I said this briefly in the recording, and when we were watching this, I just want to be clear about this. I really hope Jimmy gets free Shamrock Shakes for life.
Oh, he should write
Like,
in.
he should be
Yeah.
able to show. Is it on his left? Or his
Right arm.
Damn, because I was gonna say you could go up to the drive-through and just show it.
You can go
and
like
be
this.
like, "Yo,
Yeah.
I guess," but that looks more like he's
He's
he needs
fainting.
to get a fainting couch. He'd be like,
Also a handkerchief.
I've got the grimacy vapors.
Yeah, exactly. So we talked about Uncle Grimacy. Ray brought it to the table, told us the whole story.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's another mascot I wanted to talk to you about.
Okay.
And I hope you guys don't know the whole story.
Okay.
Brad is like a lunatic, so he probably knows at least part of it.
I until you said that, I was worried that it was going to be Dr. McFrankenstein.
No, this is like a mascot that you both will know that's been around for decades.
Okay.
Real quick, I just want to address the elephant in the room, the tattoo in the room.
Okay.
Okay. I think it's wonderful that Jimmy did this. It's very silly and fun.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a lot of tattoos, so it's not like it's his only one.
Right.
If it was his only one, I'd be like, I don't want to be a part of that, right?
Yeah.
And there was a lot of talk in the video about this cementing, no pun intended, because of the tattoo shop,
Yep.
his place as number 3.
Right.
Yes.
I think we maybe need to keep number 3 open, right? I think there's other people that may fit that mold.
Yep.
Wow.
Maybe a solid number 4 right now. Something to reach for.
You know,
Wow.
Something to reach
I
for.
say knock him down like number 11.
Wow.
He's
Not
only
even top 10.
he's only reaching out to Chuck. You know, he needs more tattoos of dumb
Well,
mascots.
hold on. Here's why.
Sheila the movie slut.
There was no. Oh my God! What does she even look like? There was no Funbearable in the tattoo, right? It's something that we talked about,
Interesting.
but it didn't say Funbearable or anything like that. There was no likeness of any one of us.
Don't.
Well, Uncle Grimacy looks like Brad a little.
Yeah.
Uncle Grimacy does look
only
like
when I'm wearing my hat.
if we all got into the Large Hadron Collider.
Yes.
And what ooze came out afterwards and
Yeah.
kind of recombobulated
Yes.
would be an Uncle O'Grimacy. I think there's all 3 of us inside of it.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I've noticed, like, as Brad ages,
Yeah.
his beard is, I don't know that this word is a thing, his beard is greening. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So
Sure.
I think that
Yeah.
that's why I see that there.
It's my all copper diet.
That'll kill you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I stand-
That's the goal.
I stand behind Jimmy as number 3, but this is a democracy. That's all.
You know what?
Something to reach for.
Like 26
Yeah,
or
we don't
51.
We don't want to make it too easy to get to a number 3 spot. That's on the podium.
Right.
You've placed.
Right,
That's
yes.
a big
That's a
thing.
bronze.
And that's like somebody being like, oh, I have a tattoo of something that we've talked. I have a hot dog tattoo.
Yeah. Oh, don't.
There's
do,
a lot
don't-
of hot dog
don't,
tattoos.
Don't. I.
If you want to get a hot dog tattoo with
No.
Brad's face on the hot
No.
dog,
Then
No,
that's
no.
a number 3.
No,
'Cause that's a likeness.
I'm against tattoos.
That's a likeness.
in general,
Not for me and involving me.
Like if somebody gets Funbearable tattooed on their penis, any genital, really.
Yeah, yeah.
It just says Fune. No. Give it a minute.
yeah.
Yeah.
Why'd you pronounce it Fune?
It was the FUN and then the E. at
Oh,
the
a
end.
lot of skin.
Yeah.
That's good. Hey, good for them. They got 4 letters in there.
Yes.
You've got a lot of wrinkly skin in a weird place.
Oh, it's
I
like
think it's a
street-
natural place to have wrinkly skin.
What, 2/3 of the way up on your penis? Where's your skin?
I don't know.
on my body. This took a turn I don't like. No, but I think what I'm saying is like keep them reaching for that brass ring.
Yep.
Right.
Keep moving the goalposts.
Exactly.
Yes.
Or that. We had no say in this.
No.
We were not privy to this situation, so we couldn't voice 2/3 of the podcast's opinion on this.
Yeah.
Can I interject just to say, how adorable is it that Jimmy is going to get a tattoo because of Funbearable, and he assumes that he's number 3, and that 2 people
Yeah.
outrank him,
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
not even interested in trying to be like.
That's magnanimous.
Yeah.
That is
You
a
know?
humble man.
Yes.
and I appreciate that. He's a very well-meaning man, and
Jimmy
I
the
think
humble guy.
he's absolutely number 4 with a bullet.
Yeah.
You know?
I'd say, like a 6 or an 11 or a 26 or a 51 or 101.
Wow.
Somewhat like just outside of a rank so that he's like, all right, I got to do more.
Yeah.
I hear you.
If it had names, likenesses, or the actual title of the podcast,
Yeah.
then I'd be like, oh, absolutely.
If he had puddin' hats pot on his head.
Oh, Puddinhead.
Jimmy would make a good pudding head.
Yes, he would.
Pudding head.
No, he's too small. He's too
tiny.
small.
You need a big guy.
Puddinhead. Basically, if
He's
there's
like
a guy,
lumbering.
if there's a guy that can body double me,
Yeah.
If they need a Ray Harrington stand-in sized person.
Now, who is of Ray Harrington size, part of this podcast, involved, and can do the Puddinhead voice? That's who we gotta find.
I mean, it's an impossible task. It really is. They can only go CG.
Yeah.
They can only go CG.
Yeah, yep.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That is really something.
Yes.
Genuinely, it's wonderful and adorable, and I worry about the power dynamic that's becoming apparent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think it is very fun. Jimmy, thank you very much. That is
Yes.
really, really fun. I love that there is another Uncle O'Grimacy out in the world.
Yes.
Yes.
Right? Because there are other O'Grimacy tattoos.
Yes.
But I think Jimmy's is the best.
Oh, yeah.
It's certainly probably the newest.
Yeah.
The other ones are faded.
Yeah.
There's
Yes.
some scars over them.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of cover-ups.
Yes, a lot of
With-
blacking out when
with-
they break up.
Covered up with the grimace. It's the
Yes.
original.
Very strange. Like
Yeah.
I'm sick of this. Turn them purple.
Yeah. You have to make it 10% larger
Yeah.
to cover the lines.
Now I want to get more specific
Yeah.
with this power. We know that there's
Do you think Uncle O'Grimacy has eggs and there's like little grimacies? That would be interesting.
No, I think he more or less kind of like an amoeba would split.
Okay.
I think it's a kind of that kind of situation.
You don't think it comes out of his cloaca?
I think if you cut him in half, 2 O'Grimacies, like a worm.
All right.
I like to think of him giving birth.
I think it's a more of a gremlin situation.
Okay.
You know?
Brad, you check.
All right.
Which is kind of sad because that means
I'll be right back.
I just
Sprayed him
realized
with the water bottle.
Hey friends, just taking a quick break from the episode to thank our sponsor, Narragansett Beer. Narragansett has tasked us with another task, guys. I know that
they're real taskmasters.
we've had to do a lot of marketing for them, but their R&D department has contacted us.
They have us go into the factory and clean.
Yeah.
You've had to get in one of the big vats.
Yeah.
And it's still hot.
Yes.
I have a push broom that I bring.
I was wearing sponges as like ice skates. And
Yeah.
Yes.
That was
Yeah, yeah.
cool. It was like
Yeah,
Daffy
it was
Duck.
a lot
I
of
do
fun.
remember
Yeah.
there often when we are cleaning, shenanigans ensue.
Yes.
I noticed that.
And a lot of like mishaps. We're often kind of like hoisted on our own petard.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking-
we also slap each other a lot.
I was
We'll
say-
poke each
I
other's
was gonna
eyes.
say, you know how we like start going in and it's like hello, hello, hello.
Yeah.
that might set us on the course. I'm
Yeah.
thinking that.
I'm often going like, you two buffoons, and I'll do like a double slap to you.
Well, the only way to get my frustrations out is I like to get on the floor and run in a circle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, there's the like the opera going crowd that's there to tour the brewery
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
for that day.
Oh, and then there was that day where like I put on the wrong jacket and everybody thought I was Mr. Narragansett.
Yes.
Yeah,
And then we were going to milk that for all it was worth.
Yeah.
Of course.
Right? Because it was the Depression and we were worried about money. I remember all of this stuff.
Absolutely.
But when I think back to it, it is always like, it's usually black and white in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Brad has a similar haircut.
Yes.
But just
Yeah.
kind of more on the side.
Yeah.
I should grow it out.
Yeah. Brad's always going, hey, like that. In a long, like, hey, like that. Yeah. Huh.
On socials, you can check out Narragansett Beer at Gansett Beer. You can learn about their brewery in Providence at Gansett Beer PVD. Of course, go to narragansettbeer.com for more information, or just, use a search engine.
Yeah, that's good.
There
Yeah,
are
yeah.
several.
It works good.
There are
Yeah.
several of them.
And I want to be clear, we are never allowed near the beer.
That's correct.
I want to be clear about that. We're not allowed to go near it when it's being done.
Right.
That is all safe and clean, and safe and clean and fine.
Yep.
I will say, part of the original agreement with
Yeah.
the ads,
Uh-huh.
I asked them if I could jump into a vat like Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah.
I have the same striped bathing suit.
Right.
And they said yes, and I do it, but they told me it's like a practice barrel that they don't put it out.
Oh, okay,
They don't
yeah.
put it
It's
out.
not
It's
fit
just
for human
fun.
consumption. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So
Okay.
don't worry about
They're
it.
like, it's chock full of bacteria. You don't
Yes.
want to jump in there. You'll get
Right.
very sick.
So to be clear, nothing weird's going on in there.
Yeah.
No. It's also extremely yeasty. It's very yeasty.
Yeah, Brad.
Oh, wait,
jumped
that's
in.
why they call us the Yeasty Boys all the time.
That would be gross.
Yeah.
And thanks to our edible sponsor.
No, genuinely, Narragansett Beer
Yes.
is fantastic. I know we have been given a long leash on these ad spots.
Oh, I'm around the corner. I'm
Listen.
down the street.
This is a freedom heretofore unknown to podcasts
Yes.
for a genuine sponsorship
Yes.
and ad. So I do want to take one moment just to say Narragansett Beer is fantastic. It comes right here in Rhode Island and is available nationally. And it is a fantastic beer company.
Absolutely.
And we really do appreciate it. So make sure you find Narragansett. We're coming into the warmer months. Crack open a Gansett.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. Say hi to your neighbor. We aren't involved in the making.
Correct.
True. And Brad, I don't know if you know this, but Ray and I had to record an ad yesterday without you.
Yeah, I watched it.
I'm sorry.
Well, I also apologize.
Yeah. Back to the show.
It did take me a long time to cut out the crude cardboard cutout we used for Brad, though.
It was very crude.
Very crude.
Cruder.
I just realized with the Gremlins, with Gizmo,
Yeah.
Gizmo never gets to fuck.
Yep.
I don't know about
They
that.
they only reproduce by water.
I think that, remember Greta,
Gerwig?
the gremlin, the girl one?
Sure.
She would seduce Gizmo.
Well, she's a gremlin.
She's a gremlin. She was only interested in humans.
Oh, well, we only saw her with humans.
That's true.
She could be a
it's literally
pansexual.
the only gremlin that has shown any sexual proclivity whatsoever.
I disagree.
And we don't even know.
I act like a lot of those other gremlins
Yes.
when I get horny.
I don't want to sound like a turf,
Yeah.
but we also don't know if Greta the Gremlin, started out as Greta the Gremlin.
We don't know what the general
It feels like a
situation-
Bugs Bunny situation to me. It really does.
I don't think so. I think it's legitimately, this is who I am, and I want to make love
And
to this man.
I'm proud of her, and I wish her the best, genuinely.
Yeah.
Support?
Trans gremlins or gremlins?
Yeah. Although I do think she's giving absolutely the worst image to the trans community possible. She's living up to most of the stereotypes that terrible people have.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, she's very
She
sexually
would be
over.
she would be a slide in the argument PowerPoint
Wow.
of like don't have gender neutral bathrooms, right? Look how aggressive Greta the Gremlin is.
Did
and
you-
that's bad. That's not good.
Did you go to Greta's children's book reading at that library?
That's a different thing.
I know it is.
That's a different thing.
I know it is.
That is
I don't
for
think.
drag.
By the way, I don't know if we know it's a different thing.
Drag is different than trans.
But you know what the gremlin is?
No, I was asking questions
That's
about
what I'm
that.
saying. We don't know it's a different thing.
Look,
Are you getting on a moral superiority with Greta the Gremlin to me?
Hey, I'm living in 2025. I'm looking towards the future.
I went to that book reading and it was a disaster.
Well,
Because
gremlins
you
can't
kept
read.
yelling and heckling and picketing.
It could be because she can't speak. She just kind of
JK,
growls and makes sounds.
JK.
Is he saying just kidding?
He's not.
No.
JK.
Tell us about this wacky
Yes,
mascot.
please. We're
So-
in a territory where I'm wildly uncomfortable.
Yeah, we went to a
my
weird
point
place.
was saying the tattoo, the Uncle O'Grimacy tattoo. It's fantastic. I
Yes.
love it.
Yeah.
We've seen some other ones, but and Jimmy, plug your ears because I don't want you getting any ideas.
Oh my
You're
God.
You're too impressionable. Plug your ears. Have we seen an Uncle O'Grimacy tattoo where he's so decked out as an IRA fighter?
Oh, I like that.
I think that would be really fun.
I think Uncle O'Grimacy.
I'm talking the balaclava
Yeah.
on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
AK-47 in hand.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Fighting for a free Ireland. Maybe I'm gonna get an Uncle O'Grimacy tattoo.
Well, I was thinking if they started
is
an
a
Uncle
shame.
I don't
O'Grimacy line of action figures, you'd have like classic,
Every one of 'em.
right?
Yep.
You'd have classic,
Yep.
which is the one
OG.
we know.
Yep.
Then you'd have the one you're talking about. Then what else could we have? Skateboarder, sideways hat with a
Oh, yeah.
sneakers
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
a skateboard.
Yeah.
ISIS, Uncle O'Grimacy, that would be crazy.
I don't like that one. I'm out.
It would be crazy.
out. I don't like it.
I agree that it's
I don't like that one. Why?
insane.
Well, you throw out one. I already threw out three. This is my
You
fault.
didn't throw out three. You threw out one. You threw out Rays, and you threw out
No,
ISIS.
OG skateboarder ISIS.
I don't like it that you're like Uncle Osama.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
insane.
Well, he's crazy. Have you talked to him?
Don't put ideals into his mind. You're
Okay.
speaking into his mouth.
You
and
come
I
up
don't
with the
like
next
that.
one.
He's a Chicago Bear.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's lazy, but I'll take it. At
Thank
least
you.
nobody dies.
How about yours?
Well, I started with the IRA guy.
Yeah.
I
So he
hold
has
firm
one.
with that, and then I'm gonna go with late '80s, early '90s rapper. I'm talking
Oh!
old school, like what
Shane.
white people thought was
Yeah.
rap.
Yeah.
Big sunglasses.
What I still
yeah.
think is rap.
Yes,
Yes.
he beatboxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, like he does that stuff.
My name's Uncle O'Grimacy, and I'm here to say,
Yeah, I like eating
Shamrocks.
cheeseburgers.
In a major way.
Shamrocks.
And no,
In
he
a strange
gets
way. In a-
confused. His raps are awesome. Did you get a CD? His raps are awesome because every song when he starts to talk about himself,
Yeah.
like old school rap,
Yeah.
where it was all like bravado,
Yeah.
he gets so confused because he doesn't even know his own purpose in life or what he is or what he wants.
That would be
the same
great.
we don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, I'm Uncle O'Grimacy. I'm here to say I like to
Be green.
green. And
Cyborg O'Grimacy.
Oh, Cyborg Grimace is
oh,
cool.
that's fun.
Okay,
That's fun.
Futuristic.
How
Yeah.
about this? Angry stepdad O'Grimacy.
Wow. Okay.
Ooh.
Weird.
It is a strange one.
Wife beater.
Yep.
I got it.
Cigar. What?
Dino Grimacy.
Dino
Ooh.
Grimacy. Are
Let
you
me throw
kidding
this one out.
That's a play set. That's a whole play set.
There's also a whole series of these. They are historical O'Grimacies.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my favorite one is the JFK assassination O'Grimacy, and he has a little sign that says "I was the grassy knoll."
I was picturing him as like he's in the car, you know, and
Yeah.
it's the girl bird with him, right? And you press a button on him,
Birdie.
and like his head explodes a little
Oh.
bit, and then it's
Oh.
Ronald McDonald in the grassy knoll. That
Oh
would
my
be cool.
God.
That would be
Oh my
interesting,
God.
right?
It would be
It would be
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah.
Oh no, Hamburglar. That makes more sense. Of course.
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe he has some hamburgers in the car.
Yeah. Robble 1 is down. By the way, speaking of the JFK assassination, I can't believe we're saying these things. I heard recently, I just did a deep dive on the JFK assassination.
Of course.
Right?
You're in your 40s.
Yeah, the last podcast on the left,
Yeah.
history and some other fun things. They did like a multi-episode span of the JFK conspiracies, and they talk about all of the conspiracies and things like that. And the modern take right now, the belief that's kind of bubbling, and the one they kind of landed on after going through everything, I had never heard before.
Yeah,
it was genuinely fascinating.
Yeah,
and I believe it. I think it could be that.
Yeah.
Which is no grassy knoll. We've got
Oswald. Yep.
Copperpot.
Yep.
Lucky
Cobblepot.
Rabbit.
Sorry, Oswald Cobblepot.
Now
He's up
that's
there.
interesting.
Yep.
As long as it has some recognizable like IP character, Chuck is just like, I like this.
You're telling me if we found out the Penguin murdered JFK, you wouldn't be interested in that?
I would first have to wrestle with the idea that the Penguin, a fictional character, was real and in the 60s.
How did he get from Gotham
Sounds like
to
Yeah.
Dallas?
You have a lot of questions. Sounds like
Sure.
you're pretty interested.
Number one, where does he stand on civil rights?
Yeah.
It was right
Yeah.
around that time.
Yeah.
I'm concerned and confused and
Second
eager.
question: did he use an umbrella gun?
Was,
Yeah.
was some of his tech involved in getting us to the moon?
Yes, exactly. I like this.
Did he have something to do with the Cuban Missile Crisis?
I like this as much as you do.
Almost certainly.
Yes.
Right. I heard originally we were just going to have a war, and then the Penguin showed up, and it was a Cold War.
Oh,
No,
You ready for my thing?
Hold on, the theory.
Yeah.
I want to
Oh,
throw
yeah,
the theory
sorry.
out. You're just breezing past. I think you're involved with the theory.
I'm involved with the Penguin.
This is so interesting because I do think it's like I could see that, right? Because so you have Oswald
Yep.
ready to shoot. He does fire. His bullet does hit someone. The driver or something like that, or whizzes by.
Yep.
I think it whizzes by. It misses.
Yep.
The first one anyway. But the working theory is, and there's a lot of stuff behind it. I won't get into all the stuff. I can't believe we're here. The Secret Service agent that was in the car was a new Secret Service agent. He was like green. He was part of the motor pool. He was basically in charge of making sure the car was gassed up and looked nice and ready to go.
Yeah.
And this one parade, they were given for the first time I can't remember what gun it is. Was it maybe the M16?
Okay.
For the first time?
Yep.
Before that, they were given other rifles. This was the first time they were using this rifle, right? And so the theory is the first shot happened. This guy who was super hungover from the night before. It is a historical fact that the Secret Service went out and drank like fish the night before.
Okay.
He stood up, and the theory is that he fired the gun when he stood up. And the shot came from the car. And that's why you get the angle of the bullet and all of that stuff. And I when I heard about this, I was like, okay, and there's far more like factual information within this, but it's fascinating to me.
It wouldn't be obvious in the video?
well, the
The
video is
video's
such low
extremely-
quality.
yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I'm picturing it in my head.
Yeah, but it is super interesting. There's also some theory stuff within like witness reports. There was a ballistics expert way back before this theory kind of came about that said, based on the ballistics, the bullet could only come from inside the car. There's a whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into it. Now we're getting super conspiracy, and I apologize. I was just
Sorry,
really,
QAnon.
I was really blown away by this, and it did track with me because the idea of like cover up or whatever.
Yeah.
That makes the most sense in terms of cover up. It's also an extremely simple answer.
Well, it's
an
also, like,
Occam's razor. Go ahead.
It's cover up that's not everyone, the machinations. It's
Right.
cover up for negligence.
Exactly.
Which makes more
it's cover ups
sense.
for stupidity. And at the time, we were in a Cold War, and wouldn't it be horrible for us to come out and be like, oops, we killed our own president.
Yeah, exactly.
We did a fuck up.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so I thought it was a really interesting conspiracy.
I like that a
Brad
lot.
looks angry.
No.
I know
I-
you were there and you have a differing report.
Well, I was on the grassy knoll.
Yeah.
And I want credit for what I did.
Yeah. Like, you with a gun, it would never happen.
2 clicks to the left.
The Stephen King book 11/22/63,
Yep.
fictional retelling of the events, and he talks about it in the afterword that it was an accidental discharge by a Secret Service, and like about that
Oh, really?
theory.
So, yeah.
And Stephen King's like, look, I did a ton of research. I think Oswald acted alone.
Yeah.
I don't believe in these other conspiracies, but like this Secret Service accidental discharge.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
I mean,
That's cool.
Ultimately,
It's a really enjoyable read.
yeah, I've heard nothing but good things, but it does make sense in the idea of like there was one guy acting alone as an attempted assassin,
Right.
Right.
and he started the events that led to him getting shot. But it does seem interesting because
That's great.
Like, let's ask that question: if it did come out, if they were like, "Yep, it was actually that." Back then, they copped to it,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do then?
Yeah.
Like, do you get rid of the Secret Service? Do you say no? We're going to have more stringent stuff with the Secret
Right.
Service. It becomes like a whole ball of chaos.
Yes.
I think that maybe because it's such a rare, really a one-time occurrence.
Yeah.
I think that what happens is that guy. It goes to that guy. It's not going to be about the Secret Service. I think it's going to be about that one guy and what happens to him.
But his fuck up was because of these things that were a part of the Secret Service.
yes,
right.
it's true. But if that's never happened before,
Sure.
then I think they would look at it as more of like one person made a mistake.
I don't think the public would react with like, all right.
Oh no, the public wouldn't. I'm just
you
talking.
guys get to pass this. Don't do it again.
I'm talking. I guess I'm talking internally how they deal with it, not
Yeah.
so much the public because that's completely
yeah.
different.
No. I think it was absolutely probably a like we need to get away from the idea that it was Secret Service real
For
fucking
sure.
quick.
Yeah.
For
Because it
sure.
will be a nightmare.
For sure.
That was super interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
This podcast contains multitude.
It does.
We've seen a man be tattooed with a horrible thing. We've talked
McDonald's
about
mascot.
delightful sillies. We've
Yeah.
talked about the trans community within the Gremlins universe and the JFK assassination in a earnest way.
Yes.
That's- all right.
I think that we've proved it many times.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
I love it.
We dare you to tell us what this podcast is.
That's a good tagline for us.
Sure, yeah.
It's a mess.
Sheila. So anyway, so this is an article. It's a combination of two articles because I like the information in both. One is from
Don't be tall. I just shattered my kneecap on this table. I'm sorry.
one is from foodandwine.com and one is from jasonrobertsonline.com. Okay.
Who's Jason Roberts?
I don't know.
He's online.
He is online. Yeah.
Does he have something to do with food and wine?
I think so.
Okay.
That's why it rhymes.
Yeah.
So anyway, this has to do with Uncle Grimacy because I found out another story about a famous mascot that I thought I'd like to share.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it the king or the queen of England? Famous
No.
mascot.
Famous mascot, true.
Yeah.
For a decade, no one could escape the Noid.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, yeah. I love Lenoid.
The Domino's Pizza mascot from 1986 to 1995 was a bizarre claymation appearing in everything from commercials to video games to a cameo in Michael Jackson's weird anthology film Moonwalker. Mm-hmm.
Is this going to get to what I think it is?
I think so.
I know a thing. Could
Do you
this
know
be
a
a
thing?
true crime podcast? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
The Noid was so omnipresent, it was, well, annoying, which makes sense because Noid
Annoying.
is short for annoyed. Mm-hmm. But for Kenneth Lamar Noid, the Domino's Noid wasn't simply grating. He believed the character was specifically created to mock him.
Which is funny because I've always believed that it was specifically created to mock Brad. The Noid does feel like an alter ego of Brad, doesn't it?
Yes,
Oh.
it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same costume.
And
Yes.
the reason the Brad Noid,
Yeah.
which is what people are calling it, the Brad Noid.
Yeah.
That's what I call Brad's hemorrhoids.
Yeah. Oh no, I was going with adenoids.
Why do you talk about?
Yeah.
Whatever.
He talks about him so much he has a nickname for him.
They're also greening, by the way.
God, you're so up his ass.
I love the adjective greening.
Yep.
That's
It's a verb. It's a verb, I guess. An
It would
action
be
verb.
yeah.
It could be an action verb.
It's all of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Could be a participle.
It's also who created The Simpsons, Matt Groening.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I do. I like the idea that the Brad Noid, which is a play on adenoid.
Yes.
I was staying away from.
Thank you.
Polyps.
You should stay away from his hemorrhoids.
Okay. No, that's fair. That's fair. Or as the UK calls them, piles, which is disgusting. I hate it. I hate it.
I don't like it.
I think that's why we left.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
I gotta
it wasn't
go.
freedom from religious persecution. It was like we got to stop calling it this, right? That's what originally Plymouth Rock was called. So no, I do think that the Brad Noid would not be just trying to like steal the warmth of the pizza, which is basically what the Noid was about.
So I have some facts that you do not know.
All right. Well, the quick joke was just like the Brad Noid is mad whenever there's toppings. Right?
He stomps on the mushrooms.
I did have.
Oh, he hates them.
I did have-
Vegetables.
Oh, he's pissing in like the broccoli. You know what I mean? He's shitting in the chicken to stop people from using it as
Why does it
toppings.
get scatological?
Because Chuck's involved.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
well,
Our
because-
ad
I would just-
agency stopped real quick.
I would just hide them.
Yeah.
No
I wouldn't
way.
deface them.
You're throwing up.
Defile,
the pickles.
really.
Yeah.
Well, you need to do different things. Stomping.
Wait, why are we
shitting,
putting
pissing.
pickles on pizza?
Some people do.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
having
those
fun.
people are wrong.
I just pictured a Domino's
Exactly.
worker.
You're about to shit right now.
I'm shitting right now. You can't tell
We can always tell.
because of my Brad Noids.
Ay.
gonna push through him.
God, it's like Braille down there. Oh, what a shitty letter. It's all dumb. It's dumb all the way down, Jerry.
Yes.
No. So I picture a Domino's worker making frozen hell.
Yep.
Which is what Domino's is. Domino's is so bad that they had an entire ad campaign was like, guys, we're not as bad anymore. Like we acknowledge this sucked.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing for a
yeah.
company that large to come out and be like, guys, we know we've been feeding you slop for decades.
Yes.
Now less slop.
Yes.
No, but I picture them doing that, and then there's a tiny little Brad Noid, just big enough for where the topping bin is.
Yep.
And he's just like, and he's
Yeah.
going around like
That
little
is funny.
evil ashes from Army of Darkness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be the mascot for Brad's Pizza Chain, where you can only order plain pizza.
Yeah.
All they have is cheese and pepperoni. That's
Yep.
all they
and a lot
have.
of gas station rib sandwiches are at his pizza place.
And the Brad Noid, he's shitting and everything. He's pissing and everything. Yeah.
yeah,
Take my shit. Eat my shit.
there's not any pooping. No pooping.
The logline is eat my shit. It's part of the Uncle Grimacy action figure line. You pull string. So anyway, all right.
He's in his own little world sometimes.
Oh, it's a fun world.
Yeah.
1984, Domino's instituted the new policy of making sure the pizza got delivered to the customer in 30 minutes or less.
Yes.
Some people think that's what George Orwell's 1984 was all about.
Yes.
Coupled with this, Domino's devised a new marketing campaign to get the word out. The red clay bunny-eared bucktooth weirdo, the Noid, was born. So here's what's interesting. I was talking to my buddy Rupert about this, Popcorn Kernel, and I was like,
Some say he's the number 3 fun bear.
and here's what's weird is like
He
he's like
could be a Ray Harrington body double.
he goes, the Noid is not about 30 minutes or less. That's not what the Noid's about.
Okay.
And I was like,
What does he think it is?
I was like, he goes, I worked at Domino's. We had an employee guidebook, and they gave a reason that the Noid exists.
Awesome.
Ooh,
And I
he
said-
knows from scripture.
And he goes, you know what it is? He goes, what? I go, say it. I said, tell me. And he said, you know the bubbles on pizza? I go, uh-huh. He goes, that's the Noid. And you need to avoid making pizza with those bubbles.
Oh, that sounds like an internal employee handbook situation, not what the ad campaign was about.
I'm not sure if that's true, but he read it in the internal employee handbook.
Yeah. So I'm going to say he's right about that particular use case of said Noid.
I think it's weird because, like, do you like a pizza bubble a little bit once in a while?
Once in a great while.
Once in a while.
I think a good pizza bubble is good.
Yeah.
But
I
overall,
think they should be fun things like a shooting star where you're like, ooh, I got the bubble slice.
I think there should be one per pizza.
Ooh,
And it should
Not
be
even that.
That's
3
the
inches
guarantee.
circumference.
I say 1 per 5 pizzas.
3 inches
No.
circumference?
Yes.
That's a girthy bubble.
It's a girthy bulb.
Girthy Bubble is such a fun name.
Girthy
Girthy
Bubble.
Bubble.
This is my favorite country singer. Oh. So anyway, claymation legend Will Vinton, who also did the California Raisins,
Yep.
created the Noid, who was supposed to be the physical manifestation of all the challenges inherent in getting a pizza delivered in 30 minutes or less.
Okay.
The first commercials debuted in 1986 and depicted the Noid attempting to prevent your pizza from showing up on time through a series of poorly conceived gags.
Yes.
Like Brad throwing up and pissing in the stuff.
No.
Top-
We're talking Wile E. Coyote. Wile E.
I
Coyote
will
never
say
shit.
that's poorly conceived.
Yeah.
And it's a gag.
Some would say, and doctors have, Chuck was poorly conceived.
The commercials were an immediate success and vaulted Domino's into a pizza war with Pizza Hut.
Yes.
The Noid became a household
we all
name.
remember the Pizza Wars.
The Noid became a household name, But on January 30th, 1989, the company endured the worst Mascot public relations disaster in history.
Yes, except for popes.
Yes. Despite the character's popularity, Domino suddenly pulled the Noid from the airwaves, relegating him to the same forgotten vault as Max Headroom and the Where's the Beef Lady. What happened?
She didn't go in a vault. She died.
Yeah.
She died. She was a very old lady.
It was like more of a wooden vault. Really small, fit her body.
Yeah.
Buried underground.
below.
Buried below.
Yeah.
What happened?
So she could be closer to hell.
What happened? Why did this beloved icon vanish from the public eye? The answer lies in a tragic and unsettling event.
Yeah.
On January 30th, 1989, a man named Kenneth Lamar Noid entered a Domino's Pizza in Chamblee, Georgia, armed with a .357 Magnum. Kenneth Noid, who suffered from paranoid schizophrenia, believed that Domino's had stolen his name and used it to create the Noid character as a personal attack against him.
Which, by the way, if your last name is Noid, it's got to be really hard that you've
Yeah.
been diagnosed clinically with something Noid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Convinced the company was publicly mocking him, Noid took 2 employees hostage, demanding $100,000 and a white limousine as ransom. In an odd twist, Noid also requested a copy of The Widow's Son, a novel by Robert Anton Wilson, a key figure in conspiracy literature and author of the Illuminatus trilogy.
I've read that. It's not great.
The peculiar demand may offer insight into Noid's state of mind, as Wilson's books are rife with themes of paranoia, secret societies, and grand conspiracies, which we've also pulled in today.
Yeah.
The hostage situation
Where
dragged
was
on
the Noid when JFK was?
30 minutes or less. The car's going. Oh, wait. The timer.
It was just the Noid rocketing out of JFK's head.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
snuck into JFK and then shot out.
Yep.
Wow.
The hostage situation dragged on for several hours. At one point, Noid ordered the employees to make him 2 specialty pizzas, which he ate during the standoff.
I mean, if you're there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Like if you
of
have
course.
hostages,
If you find yourself in that situation,
let's say we're not paranoid delusional crazies. We are robbing a bank.
that would
Yeah.
be so,
movie style.
That'd be so great.
Right? Well, Brad and I are robbing the bank. You're a paranoid delusional crazy. All right? You're there too. You're the wild card,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, thank
and
you.
you keep telling everybody that I'm the wild card. Watch. See? Nobody knows what I'm going to do. You're going to shoot somebody. Damn. So I do think if you are in that situation, let's say we leave the bank and then the first place we can run into is a pizza shop. And then we get stuck in a standoff with police inside the pizza shop.
Yep.
I mean, pretty quickly we're going to be like,
Oh, yeah.
wait, what's that one over there? What's that one?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, really? Oh, but if Chuck is there, this is happening immediately.
That's the
It's
first.
why we get
Yeah.
caught in the pizza place.
It's why we're robbing the bank in the first place.
We're running out, and the getaway car is right there. But Chuck goes, they have a buffalo chicken pie. And you're like, look at this, look at this.
Oh, yeah.
And then we get pulled into the pizza
Oh,
shop.
and we still would have made it back to the car, but Chuck's like, I only want one slice, but so many of them looks. What do you recommend?
I picture Chuck with
They go this. I go, nah.
I picture Chuck with the mask on.
Yeah.
Right? With a gun.
Yeah.
And he's like looking in the glass of the counter thing. And then he just turns back and yells to the two of us like, hey guys, are you like banana pepper freaks? Do you love them? Do you love banana peppers? And it's just the two of us in our masks, and we're like, ugh, like they're good. I like them.
Guys, hang on. How long until the buffalo chicken Sicilian slices are ready? Just 3 minutes.
3?
Listening to the sound of cop cars
The
approaching.
scanner, the police
Yeah.
scanner that we have. We've
like,
got 4 minutes until they get here.
He's like,
oh, we got time.
perfect,
we got time.
perfect.
Banana pepper freaks is really.
What is that, Stromboli?
The reason he said that for people that don't know is because Ray and I were at like a film thing in Maine.
No, Vermont. We were in Vermont.
And we were in a store, like a general store. A ton of buffalo sauces. And me and Ray were walking around. And I go, hey Ray, you a big buffalo freak?
No, it was hot sauce, right? Wasn't it just hot sauce?
Oh,
freak?
maybe. I was like, you a big
Yeah.
hot sauce freak.
Because it was like a classic,
Yeah.
New
Yeah,
England
yeah.
general store place. They had like a lot of, like it was maple syrup and stuff like that, but they had a whole like aisle of hot sauces.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I said, Ray, are you
yeah.
a big hot sauce freak?
From across the room. And I genuinely turned around and like, this is when we were kind of getting to know each other. Some would say it was the red flags I ignored, And because I remember being asked that question and genuinely turning and being like, what do you want me to say? Right? Like, what is the answer here? It's such a binary. I like hot sauce. But I don't go all the way to 11 on the scale of 1
I
to
wouldn't
10.
consider myself
go
a
to
big
Freak?
hot sauce freak.
Yeah.
Go to Freak.
I wouldn't go to Freak.
What are you gonna do?
Like her, enjoy her. I have hot sauce like at home. We eat at home most of the time. We very rarely like go out to eat.
Yeah.
My wife and child and I, and pretty much every night, a version of hot sauce is coming to the table.
Wow.
Right? Kalina's she's a hot sauce freak.
You seem like it. That
I
family
am
is
the
a family of hot
husband-
sauce
I am
freaks.
the supportive husband of a freak.
That's good.
Right?
So it's not such a crazy thing. You're 1 degree of separation away from a hot sauce freak.
I mean, I guess we're kind of reverse engineering it, but okay, I'll go with that.
It's
yeah.
funny too because the word freak is not really used too often to mean that you love something, right?
I mean, for you, I think it's often.
Yes.
I think
It's in a lot of profiles. It's
Yeah.
a lot of reports that have been written.
Yeah. All right, continue.
Yes.
Yes. Noids.
This is several hours. Yeah, specialty pizzas which he ate during the standoff.
Did they say what they are?
A different thing did, but this was way more descriptive, so I didn't take it. I think it was like a big veggie one. I don't know, or a meat lovers. I think too.
Okay.
As he grew distracted, the hostages saw their chance and managed to escape.
Yeah.
With no bargaining power left, Noid,
His mouth is full.
Noid was forced to surrender peacefully to the police.
I love that phrase. Noid was forced to surrender peacefully to police.
While Noid was charged, he was ultimately found not guilty of the crimes by reason of insanity and was sent to Georgia's Mental Health Institute. Despite this PR disaster, Domino's kept the Noid around. You know what actually made them stop using the Noid? Because it's a different thing.
Oh, I only knew about that.
Well-
and I also didn't know that he was found not guilty by reason of Noid.
Yes.
By reason of pizza.
Domino's kept the Noid around and continued to employ him. It's a weird word because
That is
he's fictional.
Yeah. Deploy would be more
Yes,
appropriate. Yeah.
employ him in more absurd commercials. Unfortunately, the Noid story took a turn for the tragic.
What did he do? What did the Noid do?
In 1995, still convinced that Domino's Pizza was out to make his life miserable, Kenneth Lamar Noid died by suicide in his Florida apartment. The pizza chain immediately stopped using the Noid in their marketing after.
Well, that's not fair. I mean, if you live in an apartment in Florida, you're 65% likely to kill yourself.
Today, the Noid is little more than a memory. In 2011, he made a brief return in a Facebook game before once again vanishing. Thanks in part to the Noid.
What a weird.
Domino's Pizza is still one of the top pizza chains in the world with nearly $9 billion in annual sales. For Kenneth Lamar Noid, though, the Noid story had a tragic ending. Now, it's interesting. If it's weird because the Noid has a pretty limited amount of traits, would you say?
Yeah.
The character?
Absolutely.
Doesn't have a lot to him?
Yes.
Right.
What's weird is like...
I mean, some say he has great dramatic chops. Like he could have been a dramatic actor.
Yeah.
Right, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Because he didn't care about how long the pizza took to get there.
No.
And he made us believe he did.
Yeah.
And he could cry so well.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Tell it's coming from a real place.
Yeah.
But
Yes,
what's
dark
interesting
place.
is he had such a limited amount of traits.
Yeah.
Did Kenneth Lamar Noid share those very specific traits? Because otherwise, how could you make the argument that they're insulting you?
Oh, sure. Because there are wires crossed in your brain.
Yeah. Yeah. And it has the same last name as him. And he has genuine problems. He has
Yeah.
genuine
Right.
illness in his mind that I think if there was a national campaign, if you are someone who is clinically like, a paranoid delusional person, and suddenly a huge television campaign in a time where there was no internet, so that was a big deal, is saying your name
Yeah.
with a weird little guy.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a big leap to be like, now that guy thinks it's about him.
Oh, I
Does
guess
that make
there,
sense?
there. I guess there are other lunatics who also were like, "This is."
I don't think that's like the appropriate term.
What do you say, Brad?
I say lunatics refers to people who go crazy because of the moon, Luna. No, I don't think we use lunatics anymore. But there are other people who are mentally disturbed, who are making leaps and connections that are less connective than like the same last name,
Yeah.
where they're like,
Yeah,
oh, I
that's
was
what I was gonna
reading
say.
reading this version of this book, and the letters, if you go diagonal this way and then back and then this way, they spell out, murder. And
Yeah,
so this
yeah.
is clearly somebody's admitting to the JFK assassination.
Right. That's true, I guess. But yeah, so the Noid, that's why it stopped. I don't know how many people know that, so I wanted to inform it.
Next time
I
we're
like
going
it.
to talk about Cool Spot and the Cool Spot killings.
Well, I'm hoping
That's
that-
7 Up
From 7
inspired.
Up?
Yeah.
I'd like to think of Uncle O'Grimacy as the opposite of the Noid, where it's, controversy free.
I guess it's controversy free. I
So
mean,
far,
no one,
so far.
Yeah, so far
no
until
one that we know of
Yeah.
has, tried to take hostages in the name of Uncle O'Grimacy and then later
Hey, while
took
I'm here,
their own life.
while I'm here, make me 2 Shamrock Shakes.
Yeah. Although we don't know yet. What if Jimmy's tattoo gets infected and he dies?
Yeah,
then we've
that's-
got a victim.
That's true.
Then we've got a victim.
They might stop doing it. Yeah, so anyway, I think it's kind of interesting because, like, let's say you think that they're coming after you for the, your paranoia. Mm-hmm. It's interesting to be like, I'm going to go take you hostage, but then I'm not going to do anything to stop this. I'm just want a limousine and money.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Well, it's because they're not in their right mind. They don't know. So they're making choices that are not
They're
thought out.
They're wild cards.
Sure. Yeah.
I would stop the Domino's noise.
If you have a paranoid delusional person,
Yeah.
I don't think their demands in a hostage situation necessarily are going to make a lot of sense.
I just
You
think
know?
he could have-
I don't think somebody on the
Yeah.
bullhorn in the parking lot is like, "That's weird. Are you sure?"
I think he could have wrote in and at least got a free pizza.
He ate 2 free pizzas.
Oh, you're right. He did trump my idea.
Yeah.
I mean,
beat you.
I'll say this. If Chuck were clinically insane,
If
and he's like, hey, there's a show on NBC. It's called Chuck. My name is Chuck. Clearly, this show is based on me.
yeah.
And then you went crazy and took NBC hostage.
Yeah.
For 2 pizzas.
And more importantly,
That is what I'd order.
The Chuck TV show is a weird little guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not. It's just a guy.
Yeah, it's just
But
a guy.
I think that is a part of it.
He's got dark hair. I, Chuck Staten, have dark hair.
I think even people of their right mind that have no mental problems,
Yeah.
I'm sure other Noids in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm amazed that this guy is like, no, my legal last name was Noid, and
Yeah.
it was family name.
Oh, yeah.
If I was Ray Noid, too close to a Noid.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But if I was Ray Noid, which is a new segment I'm working
I was
on.
going to say, it's a new segment where you're pissed off about things.
Yeah, it's called Funbearable. No, if my last name was Noid, and then this ad campaign came out,
Yep.
I would be pissed. I'd be like, why? Fuck
Oh, yeah.
off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. that
Or
makes
you
sense.
embrace it and you're like, that's me. And, you're wearing the shirt.
Yeah.
I,
What
I-
if there was a little cartoon character that came out for an ad campaign for Cheerios that came out and like humped the bee,
Yep.
the honey nut bee,
Yep.
like humped him, and he was like, "Ugh, my penis is tiny,"
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And they were like, "That's the statin.
Yeah.
Avoid the statin."
Yeah.
Why do I
you
have Brad's voice, though?
Well, no, he's the little. You have the little creep
your
voice.
penis, though.
He's a tiny little guy.
Oh, I see.
I like how you're like, why doesn't it have my voice?
I know it's kind of cliche to talk about like, oh, The Simpsons did it, but like
Yeah.
at one point, there was a character on The Simpsons, meta whatever, that was named Homer Simpson, so Homer changed his name to Max Power,
Oh,
whatever.
yes.
And this is definitely showing my age and nerdity. There was an issue of TV Guide where they like found people from around the country whose names were Homer Simpson, Marge
Oh,
Simpson,
yeah.
and like interviewed them. And it's like, like this Lisa Simpson, and she's a lawyer in her 30s, but she's holding a saxophone in this picture.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's cool, but like, it's also weird.
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of weird TV Guide stuff.
By the way, full frontal nerdity is really funny.
Yeah, I'm
I've
sure
never
it
heard
exists.
nerdity.
I'm sure it
before.
exists.
Good segment. Good
Yeah, I
segment,
think so.
You know?
Well, it'd be like if Brad wants to bring something to the table that's nerdy, and he's
Yeah.
just like, unabashed.
Right.
Be
Usually
happy
he
with
tries to temper it a little bit, so he does partial nerdity.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And believe me, if I had nothing to be ashamed of, I would go full frontal nerdity. But there's some shame. There's some shame. There's some greening.
Oh no! Oh no!
So if anyone does want to draw the Brad Noid and how he's like ruining other pizza toppings for his plain pizza place,
Yeah.
he could use not shitting and pissing any bodily fluids you want.
No.
No.
Only
Anyone's.
one fluid, and we all know what it is. You can have a little puddle, a nondescript puddle.
I hope it's
Is
just
it
burps.
sweat? Did he just take a shower? Right?
I think just don't draw bread. Just don't. Just don't. It's going to be insulting. It's
Remember how
gonna
I
hurt
said
my
this podcast is democracy earlier and you all agreed?
Yeah.
feelings.
My question is this: the pizza, Little Caesar.
No. Yes.
Oh!
Anything happened with that guy?
Yes.
I think that there's something
His
I
friends
can just
stabbed him a lot.
Yeah. Oh, that is true. Yeah.
much like an old man with a
Nero
tornado.
Coffee killed him.
An old man sitting on a porch with a tornado.
Yeah.
I feel something coming, and it is some sort of mascot thing about Funbearable. We're gonna somehow these mascots, Little Caesar, all these guys, they're gonna have
Sure.
some kind of.
It's Chuck's.
No, I guess
it's Chuck's year to write Gibby as well.
Yeah.
So-
Well, like Little Caesar Pizza, that guy where he just like stumps his spear
Yep.
and the pizza flips and he just goes pizza.
Yep.
I don't think anything's happened. I don't think there's
No.
been like a thing. Pizza Hut does not have a mascot that I know
True.
of. I think it's because they've led with the pizza,
Yeah.
probably, right?
Yeah.
But
I wonder.
Little Caesar, I think if there was somebody that did something, it would be ineffectual and not really work out.
Yeah.
And it would be a non-story because that's kind of what Little Caesars is all about.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Well, what about the original Caesar? Mm-hmm. There is some
The
controversy.
guy that invented the salad.
Yes, that's right. In the cesarean section.
Yeah, same guy. He was
Yeah.
eating a salad when it happened. Isn't that
He's like, I don't have time for this labor to finish.
yeah. And a
Let's
crouton
just-
fell in her.
You know
Yes.
what? I want this labor to be 30 minutes or less.
Well, folks, that brings us to the end of another episode of Funbearable. If you want to write in, no photos, no pictures, no drawings.
No photos.
funbearablepod@gmail.com or on socials at funbearablepod. Always happy to hear from you. Please do not put me on your body.
Is that in your dating profile?
I was going to say, I thought the opposite of that was in your dating profile.
No, it's that. It's just easier this way. Manage my expectations. We're always happy to hear from all y'all. For Ray Harrington and Chuck Staten and all our Noid friends out there, I'm Brad Rohr saying thank you so much, and we're sorry for being Funbearable.
I think with how all over this episode was,
Really was.
I think this is the one that like really separated the wheat from the chaff in terms of listenership.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a real dip, but the ones that are here, they're here, they're do or die.
I think Jimmy turned it off, but Sabrina and Lee kept it on.
Oh, wow. Very
Ooh,
telling.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, now I guess it's up to Sabrina or Lee
Yep.
to tattoo their bodies.
Don't.
No, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want to support this. I don't want a rash of tattoos to happen.
I am interested, though, in a tattoo artist design of the Brad Noid. I am interested.
Oh, I'd like to see it, but not on a body.
You know what? Lee and Sabrina, go to the tattoo shop.
Labrina, if you will.
Say you're interested. Mm-hmm. Get the design,
Yes.
and then say you change your mind. And
Yeah.
then bring us the design.
And I'm sure the tattoo person will be totally cool with all of that.
They could use it for somebody else.
Yeah, everybody knows the... Ooh, you know what I don't like? I was just about to say something about a German tattooist, and then I went,
Good choice.
historically speaking, not a popular thing. Well, we've hit all of the things.
I was going to say, ISIS. We got our check marks.
Did you guys know that the Pope ate at Aurelio's, a pizza place I worked at growing up?
Pizzagate.
Oh, wow. Was he there when you were there? When you were a child?
Yeah.
What'd you do for some pie?
Just some stuff.
Oh, okay.
No big deal. 30 minutes or less. In this case, way less.